Halsey, 3 for Sasha Sims, 4 for Melinda Fife. For Hatboro Horsham, we have 6 for Jen Northcott, 4 for Heather Marone, 2 for Megan Gould, 2 for Rachel Myers, and 1 for Julie Burns. Norristown, of course, wanting to establish their inside game, something that they try and do. And Hatboro Horsham doing a nice job of making sure that inside game didn't get started. 2 players with 2 fouls in the first half were Leanne Moore and Tamisha Johnson. So Coach Jackson having to sit them, making sure they didn't get a third one going into the second half. They're back out on the floor. The starting 5 is back out on the floor. We would expect to see a lot more action from this Lady Eagles basketball team. They try and get moving here in the third quarter as we're underway. Northcott trying to get away. She just can't. Myers on the drive. Fouled on her way by Sims. Lady Eagles having problems with fouls. Trying to stay out of foul trouble in the last couple of games. A lot of foul trouble in the first matchup this week against Cheltenham, and some foul trouble against Coatesville. And we've seen that in a lot of in most of their losses this year. They only have 5 of them, but the one against Abington, we know there was a lot of foul trouble for this team, having to go 8-9 deep on the bench. Really just not that kind of team that they can go and do that. Myers is 0 of 2 from the line. Big, strong rebound by Tamisha Johnson. Look for her to try and have a good second half. And Fife traveled with the basketball. Burns feeds to Marone. Burns looking for something inside to Marone, and she almost got the and one right there. Just wouldn't fall for her, but she will go to the line to shoot 2. Tamara Halsey gets called for her second of the night.
Her third, team second.
Or excuse me, she's going to get called for her third of the night. So Tamara Halsey, a quick third foul. And Heather Marone will go to the line to shoot the first. If I call her Heather Malone, I would have had to make a Moses Malone joke, but she's a better foul shooter than Moses Malone ever was. Heather Marone making 2 of 2. She has 6 tonight. Hatboro Horsham into a kinda full court press. Norristown breaking it easily, swing to Sims. Tried to go inside to Moore. Johnson will back it out. No, she will lose it into the hands of Rachel Myers. Kelly Conlon almost ripped it down and went through her hands. She's frustrated right now. Still very active on the defensive end for Hatboro Horsham. They're trying to pull an upset here tonight. 7-13 basketball team trying to get something done, and they just might do it the way that they're playing right now. Another steal. Rachel Myers will drive. Tried to feed inside, but Leanne Moore comes out of there with that one. Moore feeds to Fife. Fife tried to get it to Johnson. Good interception right there by Rachel Myers. Halsey was trying to go to the basket, and she was fouled by Myers.
Foul Myers, her second team third.
Rachel Myers gets called for number 2 on the night. Inside to Moore, and 1. Leanne Moore on the great design play on the inbounds, and Moore will go to the line. She has her 8th point of the night.
Foul Northcott, her second team.
Jen Northcott's going to get called for her 2nd of the night. Nobody real happy with that play. Moore wound up standing wide open. Norristown using that little line dance play where everybody stands next to each other. On the rebound, Sasha Sims gets to it first. Feed to Halsey. Halsey driving, spin move, and 1. Tamara Halsey, an athletic move. An athletic move for the sophomore right there. She'll go to the line. She may have jammed a finger, but she appears to be all right. Jen Northcott gets called for 2 fouls in a span of 10 seconds. And once again, Tamara Halsey will go to the line, try and bring the lead out to 6 points. And it's good. So Halsey now with 8 on the night. Burns breaking the press nicely. She'll slow down and now drive to the basket. Feet underneath. Conlon blocked inside. And referee Pat Storty called that on Sasha Sims. Sims with her first of the night. Conlon goes to the line. The jumper from the foul line.
Conlon missing the first.
I'm not even going to comment on that. I don't know what that was, but apparently it's the foul shot. We'll call it unconventional, and we'll leave it at that. Hey, if it works, go with it, but not the smoothest thing you'll ever see. I don't think Barry White will be writing a song about that one. A 1-3-1 now. Going back into a man-to-man. Entry inside to Johnson, off glass, good. Tamisha Johnson finally getting 2 points on the board, wanting a foul, just not getting it right there. Julie Burns now slowing things down for the Hatters. 25-18 with just under 6 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Entry pass to Northcott, and Johnson having none of it. The interception going along with the football theme tonight, and Fife will come back the other way. And Halsey walked with the basketball. Myers now with the basketball. Dribbled it off of her foot, saves it to Northcott before she fell out of bounds. Conlon, and that's going to be a walk. So a lot of people traveling with the basketball. It appears to be a little park field trip tonight, as we have many travels through the woods. So a 20-second timeout, 25-18. We are a friendly broadcast, and you know it. While we have a chance, we want to thank the Norris Area School District for bringing you tonight's game. Our Director of Communications, Mr. Tony Koya, Producer-Director tonight, Mr. Sam Galbraith, and the man who was mentioned earlier tonight, Mr. Lou Samba, who's running camera.
All three of our middle schools.
My name is Greg Fry.
Who play basketball.
Once again, joining you tonight for the Suburban 1 Liberty Division matchup as we're getting down towards the end of the season. Every game counting and every victory counting for a team like the Lady Eagles who's trying to get into the playoffs. A Hatboro Horsham team who with a couple of wins can maybe sneak in at the bottom of the playoff brackets. That's the word I'm looking for. Perimeter passing right here from the Hatters. Norristown doing a nice job of keeping the Lady Hatters on the perimeter, not allowing them to get anything inside. Now the cutter to Marone, no good. Leanne Moore pulls down the rebound. She got smacked on the way. Saved to Myers, it's good. The Hatters out hustling the Eagles on that play. Sims going the other way. Johnson fouled on her way to the basket. Nice job right there by the Lady Eagles to force the issue a little bit. Try and get that ball up the court. Try and catch the Hatters sleeping after a nice play. Going to the line is Tamisha Johnson. That foul will go on Heather Marone. That'll be number 1 for her tonight. Johnson gets the first one to go. Johnson 2 of 2 from the line. Good sweet stroke by the center right there. Back out to a 7-point lead for the Lady Eagles. Halsey got all ball. Burns somehow holding on to it. Halsey, good hands to get to that one. She just couldn't get it back though. She fell backwards. Burns on the spin, doing it all herself. Julie Burns, a whirling dervish, if you will. Her second and third points of the night. Halsey feeds Fife. Fife for 3. She can't get the stroke to go. Johnson on the rebound, pulled the string on that attempt. Inside to Northcott. Good save by Tamisha Johnson. Good steal. Trying to push the ball, but she was stripped from behind. Marone tries to get it to the corner. Very sloppy action right now. Neither team really protecting the ball, and Hatboro Horsham back into their hands once again. Myers on the switch off. Jumper won't go for Conlon. Tamara Halsey now will push. Tamisha Johnson with the basketball. Height advantage on Burns, and a charge going the other way. Julie Burns, 5 foot nothing, 90 nothing, with a brick in her pocket and wet clothing. Oh man, I butchered that. But still, Julie Burns, the smallest player on the floor, took the charge. Got to give her a lot of credit. Becky Luskin will come into the game, and Kelly Conlon will take a seat. Luskin now back into the hands of Rachel Myers. Luskin working hard off the screen. Wanted the entry pass to Northcott, not happening. Marone on the drive, puts one up, and she leaned into Halsey. That will be number 4 on Halsey. Danielle Marshall quickly off the bench.
Foul Halsey, her 4th, team 5th.
5th foul of the quarter for Norristown. Heather Marone will go to the line to shoot 2. First one good by Marone. Halsey will take a seat. Danielle Marshall coming in. Rachel Myers taking a seat. And Megan Gould will come into the basketball game for the Hatters. Tamisha Johnson taking a seat for the first time in the 3rd quarter. And Erica Deaver will check into the game. Marone 8 points on the night. And the Hatters coming back. Only down by 3 now. Moore from the foul line. Won't go. Marone beating Deaver to the basketball. Burns feeds to Megan Gould. Moore almost had the steal right there. Northcott, a good job of shielding the basketball. Good switch right there from Erica Deaver. And Gould finally got called for traveling with the basketball. It was inevitable right there, as we had some sloppy play on the offensive end by Hatboro Horsham. Every time they took a step forward, they took 5 back, finally giving up the basketball on the turnover. Sims on the jumper. Shots not falling for Norristown. They've got to try and convert a little bit better right now. Northcott now will push up the floor, the 6-footer with a head of steam. And the tree was cut down. Deaver, the bounce pass to Marshall. Marshall fouled on her way to the basket.
Foul on Vanessa, the 2nd team.
That one's going to get called on
Marshall shooting 2.
Julie Burns. For Burns, her 2nd of the night. 3 points, 2 fouls for the Hatboro point guard. Marshall missing the first foul shot. Checking back in the game is Kelly Conlon. She will come in for Jen Northcott. So with Jen Northcott out of the game, maybe a time for Norristown to go into Leanne Moore and Erica Deaver a little bit more. While Jen Northcott gets her breather. Marshall, no good. Deaver on the rebound, won't go. Leanne Moore grabbed that rebound, came back down, a little frustrated that she got undercut on her way back up. She came up. The Hatboro side a little upset, thinking that Leanne Moore was a little bit too physical when she came back up. A little frustrated she was undercut, though. She did hit the floor pretty hard. Flife now saves that one, goes inside to Leanne Moore. Good feed to Marshall. She just wasn't ready for the pass right there. Flife will back out. Becky Luskin guarding her closely. Entry pass to Moore. That's what Norristown's trying to do. Leanne Moore getting more and more frustrated, but as she's getting frustrated, she's getting better inside. That foul is going to go on Heather Marone, her second of the night.
Team 7.
And the 7th foul of the quarter, so that will be a 1-1 for the Lady Eagles. Minute and a half left in the third quarter. Lady Eagles up 27-24. They were up 18-15 at halftime. Moore gets the first one to fall.
Moore making the first of a 1-1.
Rachel Myers into the game for Becky Luskin. Hatboro Horsham not afraid to use
Myers
a couple of players off their bench, a good rotation that they use. Moore 2 of 2 from the line. She goes into double digits, and Leanne Moore will take a seat. Jen Clark coming into the game. Burns feeds Myers. Myers drives inside. Too easy for her, but she blows the layup. Fife and Marone going for the ball right there, and Fife wins the battle. Into the hands of Sasha Sims. Sims looking to push. She stops and feeds back over to Fife. Off the pick, Fife jumper won't go. Battling inside is Danielle Marshall. Goes into the hands right there of Megan Gould. Myers into the hands of Julie Burns. Not a lot of movement on the offensive end right now for Hatboro Horsham. They've got to work hard. Down by 5, they really have a chance to win this basketball game. You would think that they'd want to work even harder on the offensive end, a little bit more movement. Of course, at this point, under 30 seconds, you might want to waste a little bit of time. Gould feeds over to Kelly Conlon, and now it looks like they'll hold for the last shot. Burns off the pick. Burns driving to the basket. No switch off there from Norristown, and now they've got to push the ball up the floor. Fife puts up a jumper at the buzzer, no good. At the end of 3 quarters, 29-26, the Lady Eagles up by 3 points, but not real convincing right now. Hatboro giving them a game, doing all they can in the first 3 quarters of this basketball game. Very impressive performance by a 5-6 league team tonight. We get towards the end of the season, you know, you've played 20 games. It's a tough thing to come into a gym with a team that's well over 500, well far out in front of you. It's tough to come into the gym and really think that, man, I can be motivated and I can play this game tonight, and we have a chance